All right, we're live. All right, folks, good evening. It's Joe Russo here, your Vice Principal for Day eLearning. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to say hello and introduce myself. Even though we are working in a virtual field or a virtual environment, rather, there's still plenty of opportunity to make connections and build relationships, and that's why we're here. So I do notice we do have a few people that are on the broadcast, and so what I'll do is I will go to the backup channel in terms of asking questions, and also highlight how you can connect with me in the chat. So if you are working directly through YouTube in terms of chatting with me, all you have to do is log into YouTube with your Google account, and then you'll be able to enter the chat area, post a question, and say hello. And you'll also notice that there is another person on the live YouTube section here, and that's a colleague of mine, Mrs. Kelly McDougall from Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board, and I invited her to join me tonight and all of you, because that's what education is all about, is partnering with people and sharing and collaborating. And Kelly definitely models that as pretty much a lot of things that you're going to see in Toronto Catholic in terms of resources and getting you comfortable with the new e-learning experience have come from Kelly, because she works really hard at supporting e-learning at her board and her colleagues at other school boards across Ontario as well. So that being said, I think I've had enough airtime myself. So I'm going to share my screen and go to the e-learning environment. And here we are. Okay, so I am in the e-learning environment at tcdsb.elearningontario.ca. But again, just to remind you, if you do have a question and you want to chat, there's two ways you can do so. In the YouTube live chat area, all you have to do is log in with your Google account, and then you can actually chat. The other way that you can chat with us this evening and ask questions is if you want to post your question on this Google Doc. So, excuse me, so all you have to do is go to https https semicolon or colon rather //go.gl /V capital U lowercase d capital X lowercase u and number 4. And then in terms of organizing all of your questions and comments, just take up one of your boxes and on the grid here, and we will get to those questions this evening, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to head back to the e-learning site. So first off, in terms of logging in, the site is tcdsb.elearningontario.ca. And as a TCDSB student, you would be entering through the TCDSB login button. Once you're there, or better yet, let me take a step back, don't want to go too quickly. Your login conveniently is the same login as your board network ID. So the same login, that is username and password that you would use to log into a school board computer at your school, or log into the Wi-Fi and internet at your school as well on your personal device. Okay. So that's convenient for you in terms of your login. Let me stress right off the top that if you're having issues logging in, you're definitely welcome to email me at joe.russo@tcdsb.org. That's joe.russo@tcdsb.org. Or what you can do is you can go into your day school, and you can ask your librarian, your classroom teacher to reset your password in case that is the issue in terms of forgetting your password or having to reset it, and then you can go in and there you have it. So once you're in, what you're looking at right now is basically our Toronto Catholic District School Board homepage. And this is the page that you're going to see all of these announcements that I'm going to share with you. And I hope not to, share too many announcements and bombard you with information, because I'm sure your teachers are going to do a great job at keeping you organized and well informed. But no matter what a great job they do, and they always do, your teachers are going to need you to reciprocate that effort, and you're going to have to log in regularly. You're going to have to log in daily, not because that is the expectation, but it's because that's what you do. You go to school every day and you log in just like you would go into a classroom and meet your teacher and be part of the class every day with your classmates. Same thing online. You can't just log in once in a while. You've got to log in every day, see what's happening, check the calendar, reach out to your teacher, ask some questions. If you feel like you need to connect with your teacher, by all means, the easiest thing to do, folks, if you want to connect with your teacher, is just send them an email. All right, and I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. So before I get ahead, I want to again bring your attention to the main homepage. And on the main homepage, once again, my announcements will be posted there. On the right-hand side, you should see your courses. Along the top here, we have what's called a navigation bar. But, for those of you that have been a Toronto Catholic student for a while, you probably have a lot of courses there. And so what you need to do is you're going to need to find your course. So if it's not listed under my courses here on the right-hand side, then you're going to go, you're going to select your course by selecting this waffle, this 3x3 grid, whatever you want to call it. And once you're there, you'll notice that there'll be a drop-down of courses. And the course that you're looking for will include the word Day 1718 Sem 2. That's Day 1718 Sem 2. Okay? But for the sake of this evening and your questions and sort of the walkthrough going through e-learning, your e-learning course, I did prepare a sort of sandbox course that we're going to go into together. So, so right now, basically, once you're in your, once you've logged in, you're going to find your course. And if you've got a lot of courses, then what you should do is you should pin up your course. That way it's always the course that you see first, and it'll be right at the top of your list of courses. Next, for your convenience, what we've done is we've made a student orientation course available to you. And specifically, the course is going to be called On-Demand Student Learning, On-Demand Online Learning Student Module, rather. And that's where you should go before your course officially starts. And, even during, because you can go there and you can become familiar with quite a few things when it comes to learning online. So what you're going to do is locate those two courses, your main course, and you're going to locate your on-demand online learning student module, and those are the two places you're going to go to every day, okay? Especially your course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my sandbox course here, and once I'm there, again, I land on this homepage of the course. You'll notice along the top, this is what's called the navigation bar. There's an arrow here. It's a very, very subtle sort of indication here that you can actually select this down arrow. And you'll notice there's more icons. Have a look. Right now, I'm logged in as a teacher, so I'll probably see a few more things than what students would be seeing. But primarily, you'll be going into content, you'll be going to course home, discussions, assignments, that's where you'll be submitting your work. Should your courses have any quizzes, your teacher will let you know, and you can go to quizzes. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago, communicating, you can never under-communicate. You can never over-communicate. So what you're going to want to do in terms of convenience, just remember that you can go to class list, And so right away, folks, as soon as you log in, the first time, you're going to want to locate who your teacher is or where your teacher is within the class list. So you'll notice right now, Giuseppe Russo here that's listed. Under role, you can tell that I'm the teacher, whereas everyone else is a student. So these are just test student accounts that I created and put into this course. If you want to email your teacher, all you have to do is go to class list and locate the teacher and literally just click on the teacher's name. So the moment I do that, a separate window is going to open up, and it's going to take you right into a compose a new message window. And right now, you'll notice that in the to field, there's nothing there. That's because I clicked on myself. But if you were a student and you clicked on the teacher's name, it would actually populate the teacher's email address in there. And then all you have to do is go into the body of the email, send them a message, and then send it off. And that's it. Okay? So communicating, I would suggest that the first time you log in, as soon as you locate your course, I would suggest you go to the class list, click on your teacher's name and say, hello, Mr. or hello, Miss. I logged in successfully, and I look forward to having a great semester. And let them know that you're active and that you're logged in. Now, here's the key. I mentioned the word active. So we have to take attendance just like in day school, right? Just like in a face-to-face classroom environment, we take attendance online. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to log in at least a few times a week, because those days that you're not logged in, we're going to have to mark you absent. If you don't log in at all, we mark you absent for the whole week. Okay, so remember that. So we've covered quite a bit. Again, just to recap, we've covered logging in. We've covered resetting passwords. They're done locally at your school by a teacher. We've covered landing on the homepage, locating your courses, also locating your student orientation course. We have pinned up our active courses. We've also gone to class list and found our teacher and emailed our teacher. Okay. What we'll do now is we'll go back to course home. All right. So we're going to go back to course home, and we're back on the home page. It looks a little blank here, but your teacher is going to have content and announcements and all that good stuff. So what you're going to do here is become familiar with a few other places. So for example, when it comes to submitting your work, so assignments is where you go submit your work. And what you're going to do here is literally there will be a Dropbox folder. So here's an example of a Dropbox folder. You select the Dropbox folder, and then once you're there, all you're doing is uploading the activity, uploading the assignment. Okay, so right now I'm in as a teacher. So I'm going to actually change my view to be a student. And I just did that. I'm just waiting for it to work. So it brought me back to the home page. I'm going to go back into assignments. And I'm going to go into the Dropbox folder, which is again now called the assignment submissions folder. And once there, you'll notice that things look different, because now I'm viewing this as a student. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a file. I can record an audio. You have to follow the instructions that your teacher suggests. Now, might I suggest here that always back up your work. So if you're uploading something to this assignment folder, you should always back up your work and save it either on a thumb drive, in your Google Drive, or on your computer, because it may not actually be uploaded successfully. However, once it is uploaded successfully, you'll actually receive a submission email in your course email account. Okay. So again, this is just a quick overview of the assignment folder submission area. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to being a teacher. Okay. And just going to wait to switch roles. there's something that I forgot to point out that's pretty convenient, and then we'll go into content here on the right-hand side. Okay. So as soon as you log in, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your name up at the top right, and you're going to want to go into notifications. Once you're in notifications, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, number one, make sure that you've got your email here. Okay, so you can change your email. And the other thing that you can do is you can select any particular notifications that you want to receive. So for example, if you select announcements, new announcement available, which is right over there, then that means that anytime your teacher posts a new announcement, it'll send an email to your email account so that you can get notification. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is, obviously, to repeat what I mentioned earlier, you're going to go and log in every day to see what's going on in your course. But if, for example, you put a Gmail account here, or an Outlook account, or any email account that you access on a mobile device, or that you're actively looking at every day, what you're going to notice is that, getting these notifications conveniently to this email that you're checking more often than actually logging into your course, then that'll give you a heads up saying, hey, come back to your online course and make sure that you log in and realize what information was shared and how it impacts on your schedule, how it impacts on what you need to prioritize to make sure that you're getting things done. Like, if you know that something is due on the Thursday of the following week, well, you need to prioritize that. You can't just rely on your teacher to keep sending you reminders, because that's not the way it works. When things are assigned and things are due, you're going to need clarification. You're going to need to ask questions. You're going to need to make sure that you fully understand what's expected. So you can't just wait to the last minute and then hope that your teacher responds at any given point in any day last minute. You have to make sure you're logging in, you have a sense of when things are due, and you know that you need to provide your teacher time for any questions that you have to respond. And that's the way it works. If you know you've got a little bit of a rigid, sort of not so flexible schedule, then be polite and lead your teacher, and in your questioning or in your question in your email that you send, point out, Miss, Sir, I'm sending you this email, this question about this assignment because I just want to point out clarification around what's expected. And if you can please get back to me within 24 hours or 48 hours, because I have, this coming up and that coming up, and I'm not able to work on this task at that time, so I want to get ahead. Like, let them know where you stand, because they're also trying to organize the other 20 to 30 students in their course, and making sure that the learning is personalized as best as possible. But teachers have to make sure that everyone is sort of moving along as well at the same pace and keeping on track. That's how you build community in your course, because in discussions, people are contributing to things, and everyone's sort of in a similar place. And you can also help each other as well in terms of asking each other questions, right? It's not just teacher to student, it's student to teacher, it's students to students, and so on and so forth. All right. So I've spoken quite a bit. Now, before I go into content, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop into the Google Doc and see if there are any questions. Okay, so I've got one person in here, and they haven't asked any questions, but that's okay. I did my best to advertise these YouTube sessions. I know that they worked very well in the summer. We have a really big program in the summer as well. So in terms of those most frequently asked questions, I think the biggest one is how often do I have to log in? And really, the answer there is you need to log in regularly. Okay, I did mention earlier on that say for example, you wanted to receive email, or you wanted to see if an assignment that you uploaded to your assignment folder was received, I had mentioned that you would be receiving an email confirmation saying that it was uploaded successfully or submitted successfully. So the place to go, if you haven't noticed already, because I've got a few notifications, is right along the top here of any page that you're in once you're logged into the eLearning site, is right up here. So that is where you can access your email account, right? So you can easily go there and access your email. If there are any chat notifications, because you actually have a chat option as well that you can use, and update alerts. I've got quite a few here because I'm, again, connected to the entire organization of our eLearning site. So plain and simple, that's where you can access your email, and you can go to instant messages or go to your email account. Okay. All right. So I know it's a lot of information, but again, that's why we're recording this, so you have a chance to ask questions, or better yet, perfect segue, we're going to go right into our learning module for students, and literally that's the segment that you're going to want to watch, because, or better yet, it's not the segment that you want to watch, because you can go in at your own leisure and at your own pace to review what's there. But this orientation course was created by and shared by Technology Enabled Learning Ontario. They're a wonderful body of people that at the ministry take the lead on supporting technology enabled learning. And they work with teachers across the province, and they come up with these wonderful modules, and they also create ministry content that you may also see in your course. And so they've provided this recent update to preparing students to be learning online. And so that's what I'm encouraging you to do. I'm encouraging you to drop into this module, and I'm just going to go in there myself, and we can have a look. And so what you'll notice is literally it asks you to take a quiz, because it wants to know where you're at in terms of getting started with an online course. And then it walks you through all of those areas we were just talking about: messages, assignments, quizzes, discussions, online tools, okay? And a bunch of questions, again, to make you think about, hey, am I ready to take this online course? What do I need to be aware of in terms of making sure that I'm setting myself up for success? All right? So this is something I want you definitely to have a look at. And then the other area or content that I provided, although it won't look exactly the same in terms of the eLearning site, there's a lot of material in there, including video tutorials on how to use the different tools on the eLearning site. All right. So folks, I can't stress enough, the biggest challenge is that students tend to think that because the course is online, that there is some sort of disconnect as to when you need to log in. You need to log in every day. You go to class every day, you need to log in every day. And you need to keep in touch with your teacher. You need to keep in touch with your teacher, not just for, saying I'm active and showing that you're active in the course, but you need to keep in touch with your teacher, because if you need that open communication like you do in a face-to-face class, you can't expect things to be clarified, or you can't expect to have that feedback at the very last minute. You need to give your teacher time, because then you need that time to process that feedback and make sure that you're working towards a finished product that you want to submit, because it reflects your journey as a learner and what you understood to be that knowledge that you constructed, and to be basically that finished product that is a snapshot of your learning for that point in time. So please think about that. That really is the biggest challenge, all right? And keeping in touch, logging in. You're never alone. If there is a question, if you feel impatient about something, the best thing to do is email me. And I'll try to get back, and I'll try to give you some sound advice. But I really do encourage you to Take full ownership of this online learning opportunity that you're registered in and participating in. It is an awesome opportunity, and it will only be even more awesome if you invest the time, if you think carefully about the timing of your questions, the level of organization that you're going to need. You're going to need to know when things are happening, use a calendar, and schedule things, prioritize things. So you basically have one period of the day as part of your timetable. It's not a spare. That is your time to make sure you're logging in. That is your time to make sure that you're keeping up. And I hate saying keeping up. That's not good enough. You should be striving to not just log in, but making sure that you're always fully aware of what's happening in your course and what needs to be completed. And are you visiting the discussions area? Are you contributing? Are you reading what other people are sharing? And so if you are present online, you're definitely going to know where you stand all the time, because your teacher will also provide regular mark updates. And so, the virtual world at times could feel like a place that you can visit whenever you want, but it could also be a slippery slope. And so do not disconnect yourself from this course by thinking you can log in whenever you want. I need you to log in all the time, every day, once every day, a quick check-in, and then you're working. You're doing your work just like you would in any other class. Okay, and I think I've repeated this enough. I just really want to make sure that you get the message, because I want to make sure that you know that this taking online course is a viable solution that you could be very successful at. Okay. All right. So we don't seem to have any questions this evening. We do have another session though, another 3 sessions that are coming up. And the perfect way to advertise that at the end of our meeting right now, or at the end of our session, is to go to our eLearning website that I've been advertising. And I'll take you there right now. And here it is. So once you go to bit.ly/ all lowercase TCBSB eLearn, you'll land on this page. And you'll notice here I've got technology enabled learning Ontario, that group I was mentioning that really supports all of us in Ontario around e-learning and the virtual learning environment, which is the environment you're working in your online course. There's something here for everyone, and I'm updating this site regularly, not just with information, but with resources. So if we scroll down, I've basically included some videos on this homepage that walks you through or takes you through the changes to the look of this new e-learning site, this virtual learning environment that we're in. And it's pretty awesome, I have to say. In terms of the responsiveness, you can work on any device and have a very similar experience, because the whole website responds to the size of the device you're on. There's information here for next year when it comes to e-learning. We've also got a handout here in case you wanted to download it or just have a look at this soft copy for more information. So there's a tab here, or a page for students. If we go to the students page, you'll notice that I'm trying to organize this as a viable space for you to just come to and know that you can get a link right to our live YouTube sessions. There's also a daily learning program update that I shared with your guidance counselors, but I'm also sharing it here with you. And you'll notice you already know the date of your final exam if you're enrolled in a grade 12 university level course. And the date of your final exam is Tuesday, June the 19th, and it's happening at the board office from 6 to 9. And that's it. So there's also a handout that's very conveniently summarizing that learning online student module for you to have a look and what it offers before you invest time going through that online module. And there I am right now, February 5th, and you can come back on February the 6th or tell others who weren't able to join us live tonight to come back tomorrow And the session tomorrow is going to take place from 3 to 3:30. And that's it for now, really. I'm just going to check the chat area. There's no questions. And also on the Google Doc, there are no questions. And so I'm going to go back to our Hangout and stop sharing. And that's it. I'm going to end off with my face again. I'll say thank you to Kelly. She was my eyes and ears around what was happening in the chat and anything else that I needed to know about. And that's a great example of collaborative professionalism right there. TCDSB and Duff from PO Catholic working together. So I appreciate your help, Kelly, all the time. And with that, I sign off, and I wish you all a good night and a very successful e-learning semester. Bye for now.